There we go. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We are here once again with the Ultimate Racing League for the Sunday Championship, and this is with the League 1 guys. Now as you can see, we are at Fuji International for our 29 lap endurance race. It is 2.6 miles long, it has 16 corners, and obviously it is a real world circuit, so there will be some names on the corners. So anyway, hello to you watching. They are obviously all in the AMG 20, as it's a one make this season. Obviously went out and did their 10-minute quali. Flat B was on pole, Niggles second, a Slowpoke third, Chuck fourth, and last time out in race 2, Chuck took the victory, so hopefully he can bring his victory from the last round into today's race. Hoggy was 5th, Brian Mechanic, who's qualified 6th, he won race 1 last week. Hopefully he can bring his momentum in as well. P. White in 7th, Graham in 8th, Rossi in 9th, Sideways in 10th, Rufus myself in 11th, Bloomfield 12th, Hodgie 13th, Stealth 14th, Brownie 15th. Now, of course, in this race, they have to use all 3 tyre compounds, and they have to be used for a minimum of 3 laps. So now, let's get this race on the way. Let me take them down to the start-finish line, waiting for the lights to go out, and they are off. Here they go down towards this long straight, down towards first corner from what I saw it said the corner was. Might be wrong, but not sure. So going through first corner. Hopefully they get through without any issue. And they do. Going through, now coming up to Coca-Cola corner to go into 100R. This is one of the critical points on the track, as there's many racing lines. Now going through hairpin corner, and then going to go into 300R, which is this sort of corner, but it's not really a corner as such. It's more or less a straight with a few wobbly bends in it. Coming up to Dunlop now, which is a tricky part of the circuit, coming around these few bends. Everyone still quite close by. As Flat B brings them through Nets corner, and then bring them through Panasonic corner, which is a critical corner as well, because if you take it right, bring enough speed out, you have the best chance for as much speed as possible, as this is actually quite a long straight. As you can see, Flat B's already opened up a little bit of a gap with Niggle there doing second. Although Flat B is on soft, so that's why he is starting to get away. Obviously Niggles there on the mediums. Slowpoke is there on the mediums. With Brian Mechanic there fourth. He's just done a pass on Hoggy there. With him being on them softs. So it's Hoggy's on the softs as well. Chuck there in 6th, who's on the hards. P. White there in 7th, who's on the hards. Graham there in 8th, who's on hards also. Rossi is on hards in 9th. Brownie 10th, he's on softs. And Rufus there in 11th, he's on hards. And Sideways there in 12th on softs with, oh, Brownie's just gone. Let's see what's happened to Brownie. He spun on the hairpin corner. Oh, looks like he was up on the inside of Rossi. Completely tried to put the acceleration on, and he completely lost it and spun out because he's got no traction control on. So I think that's why he probably lost it. So now he's right to the back. He's got work to do to catch back up now. So that's unfortunate for him. Bluefield's dropped off a little bit. When there's Delphi there in 13th, he's battling with Hodgie. He also got Rufus there in 12th. So you got these 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 battling it out for them positions. And we are only on lap 2, as Flatbeat is now on the start-finish straight once again for the second time. And he is starting to edge that gap to Niggle, who's there in second. But he's got Slowpoke breathing down his rear bumper, with Bry fighting with Slowpoke as well, trying to get past as well. Now Bry's behind Niggle, but no, he's behind with Slowpoke. Trying to make it 3 wide here, but he decides to back off. And there's Hoggy still there as well, trying to get in the fight with these 3. Anyway, while these guys are... Oh, Slowpoke has got past Niggle, so I missed that one. I think that must have been on first corner, as they come through 100R once again into hairpin corner. Niggle is coming back after Slowpoke. He wants that second position back as they go through 300R, and then going to go on to Dunlop corner again. Well, Bright tried to go up for a sneaky one there, but he wasn't able to. Niggle kept Bright from getting it. But he gets caught right back up to Slowpoke as they're coming through next corner. Oh, Brian Lee lost it, but he managed to keep it going. He lost a few places there, but he did manage to get it going again as he brings it through Panasonic corner. And Chuck there in 5th at the moment on the hards, trying to catch Brian the Mechanic up. And there's people out there in 7th. He's being chased by Graham Ali in 8th. Is Graham gonna try and make a pass here on first corner? Let's see, is he gonna try it? He goes for it. He's on the inside of P White now, and he does do it. But they are... Nope, Graham is just ahead. So now that's Graham up to 7th, P White down to 8th. And then there's the gap to Rossi, but Hodgie's just taken 9th from Rossi, so Rossi's down to 10th now. Oh no, he's side by Hodgie and Rossi are side by side as they go through 100R. Sideways is there as well, as they all come through 100R going into hairpin corner. Literally 4 abreast here, all trying to find out for that position. Delph is there as well, trying to make it 3 wide, but was unable to as they come down to Dunlop corner once again. The moment Hodgie is on the mediums, Rossi's on the hards, Sideways on the softs, Stealth's on the mediums, and Rufus there is on the hards as well. So the hard boys are keeping up with the softs and the medium boys at the moment. So like, all these 4 are all on different tyres, not all on the same tyre, but they're managing to battle it out. But Hodgie has managed to get away and open up a little bit of a gap now. So the first 2 have now... No, one person's gone into the pits, and that would be P White. P White has taken to the pit to get off of them hard tyres. So it looks like Stealth is trying to go for a move on sideways here into first corner. Not able to. Or is he? Nope, they are side by side. Stealth and Sideways are side by side. I think Stealth is just ahead. But they're going to come into Coca-Cola corner. And now into 100R, and Stealth does have the edge over Sideways by an inch. Right, Stealth there, sideways just behind him there in 11th place as they come down towards through 300R into Dunlop corners. Rufus is there as well, gives Sideways a bit of a bum to say hurry up and get on your way. But Rufus is doing well to keep up with them at the moment, been on there on mediums and softs. And it's Brownie there in 13th. He's trying to close the gap up to Rufus after he's off earlier in the race on lap 1. And then Bloomfield there in 14th at the moment. Oh, Brownie went out a little bit wide there hitting the curb, so that might allow Bloomfield to go for a pass here, because he will probably have more speed than Brownie coming down this straight. Does look like Bloomfield is eyeing up that 13th position. Brian the Mechanic is the next person into the pits. But no, Bloomfield doesn't try for a pass there. He probably tried, but he does hope he had off first corner better than Brownie has, because they are now side by side. Just coming up to Coca-Cola corner now, and Bloomfield has got past up to 12. That's as they come through 100R, they're still battling it out. Can Brownie get this position back off Bloomfield as they come into hairpin corner? He's trying, Bloomfield is coming back. But now Bloomfield is back ahead of Brownie, so these two are battling it out. Hammer and tongs as they bring it down 300R and down to Dunlop corner. Brownie really wants that position. He goes up the inside and takes that position off Bloomfield. Oh, Brownie went out well wide, hits grass. That's allowed Bloomfield to easily take that 12th position. And now Brownie's dropped off a little bit, unfortunately. P. White there is in 14th, got a little bit of work to do, but he has pitted, so he's a pit stop ahead of everyone. Same as Brian the Mechanic, who's in 15th, he's a pit stop ahead of everyone as well. So anyway, lap 7, Flat B still has the lead, and a decent lead that is. There's probably maybe 5 seconds between him and Slowpoke, who is in second. He's still got Niggle, his teammate, chasing him down. They are both on the same tyre currently, so there's no advantage here. Whereas Flat B obviously is on the softs, so he's got the advantage of trying to get away as far as possible before he has to pit. But he will have to pit before Slowpoke and Niggle, because they're on the mediums and they're going to last a lot longer than the softs. Hoggy is there in 4th still, trying to catch Niggle up. Chuck is there in 5th. Still trying to close the gap on Hoggy. There is a bit of a gap there. Graham Ali there in 6th. He is trying to close Chuck down. And Rossi there is in 7th. Hodgie there in 8th. Sideways there in 9th. Stealth there in 10th. So this battle between them four is sort of calmed down now. Now the first few laps are out the way. They're sort of now settled in and just gunning for it. Bluefield there in 11th. P. White there in 12th. And Rufus is there in 13th. Looks like Rufus has pitted for soft tyres, so that's why he's now down all the way back there in 13th. But he has got a 3-second penalty, and he has got the Brownie closing down him. Do we know Brownie he is the creator of the Brownie? That's why you call his name Brownie, because he makes them for a living. And Brian the Mechanic there in 15th currently. This could be, anyway, going back to here, this could be Brownie's opportunity to pass Rufus here as Rufus serves his 3-second penalty. Brownie should be able to take that position off of him. Yep, he can, and with ease. So that's now Brownie up to 13th, Rufus down to 14th. So now Flat B has taken to the pits, so that has allowed Slowpoke to take the lead for the first time, with Niggle right behind him in second, and Hoggy there in third, giving Niggle a bit of a nudge there, telling him to hurry the hell up. As slowly, then you've got these three battling out Hamilton, so they've just come out of Dunlop and now into Net's corner. I'm going to bring them out of Panasonic, and this is one of the important corners on this track. And they do all seem to get out of it without an issue there. So they are going to still be battling it at Hamilton's. Oh no, Hoggy has bowed out of the race at the moment. He's gone into the pits. Niggle's still there in second. He is closing that gap on Slowpoke. Is he going to be able to go for a sneaky pass here on first corner? Nope, he doesn't. But he is right on Slowpoke's rear bumper. They are side by side as they come to Coca-Cola corner. Niggle is ahead just about, as now they come round 100R. Niggle has got that lead off Slowpoke now, but Slowpoke is not letting him go. But it's just an instance while we're watching these two. Obviously Slowpoke, he does do comms for League 2. He's Slowpoke racer, so feel free to go and watch his comms, because they are actually really good. Sorry. Up in third now is Chuck, with Graham lead chasing him down. They're both on hard tyres, so there's going to be no advantage for either of them here. Rossi there is now up to fifth, with Hodgie there in sixth. Stealth there in seventh, and he's battling it out with Sideways now. Sideways has just got past him up to eighth. Stealth is there in seventh as they come through Panasonic corner. Sideways could be pitting shortly because of his tyres. But as they come down the pits, long straight towards the first corner, is Delph going to be able to try and go for a sneaky pass in? No, he doesn't. He's not close enough. But Sideways is there, right behind Stealth as they come down to Coca-Cola corner into 100R. Alright, Flatby there in 9th. He's got Bloomfield chasing him in 10th. Hoggy there in 11th after being in the pits. And then you got big gap to Rufus there in 12th. And Brownie there in 13th. They are still battling out. Brownie's still trying to catch Rufus up. But at the moment, Brownie's not having any luck at all. Rufus is managing to keep Brownie there behind him. Oh, well, no. Brownie was ahead of Rufus at one stage, like a couple laps ago, or the lap before. And now Rufus, I think Brownie must have had a mistake, or Rufus has just done well to, although Rufus is on the soft tyres, he's on the better tyre than Brownie at the moment. So that probably allowed Rufus to get back past. Pete White there in 14th, and Brian the Mechanic as he comes through the Dunlop corners in 15th. So let's go up to Niggle, who is still leading, and Slowpoke there still in second, so they've got a decent lead at the moment over Chuck. Let's go on board with the Slowpoke as he brings them through Dunlop corner. Now can't bring them through hairpin corner onto 300R. and bringing them all the way down to the Dunlop corners. Slowpoke takes a tighter line through that bit and then brings them out, so he closes the gap a little bit on Niggle. As Niggle brings them through the Nets corners, trying to keep it tight. Niggle goes out a little bit wide there, very wide there. That's going to slow him down a little bit. I think Slowpoke may have the advantage here as he got through that Panasonic better than Niggle. He definitely is closing. Goes to the right of Niggle. Is Slowpoke going to go for a pass here? He's trying to. Who's going to have the better out of first corner? That would be Slowpoke. Slowpoke does have the advantage as he brings them through Coca-Cola corner for the 12th time. Now we've got Chuck, Graham and Rossi all into the pits. So on lap 12 it is currently Slowpoke leading with Niggle there right behind him in second, Hodgie there in third, Flat B there in fourth, Bloomfield there in fifth, Hoggy there in sixth, Chuck there in seventh, Rufus there in eighth. Is Rufus going to get past? Yeah, Rufus there in eighth. Graham is now there and come out in ninth. Rossi is in 10th. P White there in 11th. Stealth there in 12th. And they've carried on their battle with Sideways in 13th as they come through obviously first corner into Coca-Cola corner. Brownie obviously there in 14th as he waits for him to fill his gas up, and now he's coming out of the pits. And obviously Brian the mechanic there in total last, and he's actually really struggling this race. He is a lap down now as he comes into the pits. Or is he coming into the pits? No, he's not coming into the pits, but yeah, Brian the mechanic is unfortunately really struggling this race, so he is really far back. As Slowpoke comes in the pits from first position, so does Niggle. Hodgie and Flat B, well, Hodgie is gonna probably be in shortly. Flat B there in second, third at the moment, going for a pass on Hodgie here, bringing them down to first corner. Flat B gets ahead of Hodgie just as they bring up to the corner. It doesn't seem like there was anything Hodgie could do there. So once again, after all the pit stops have been done, first round of pit stops have been done, Flat B is leading, with Hodgie trying to chase him down in second, but he has dropped off from Flat B. Hoggy there in third, Slowpoke there in fourth now. He's got Chuck all over his rear bumper at the moment. Is Chuck going to be able to get past Slowpoke as they come through the Dunlop corners? And he does actually quite easily there. Gets past Slowpoke there. And he did it going around the outside of Slowpoke as well. So that was quite a good move there from Chuck. But then, looking at the tyres, Chuck is on the soft tyres, Slowpoke is on the hards. So Chuck is going to have 10 times more grip than Slowpoke will at this time as he brings them through Panasonic corner once again. Chuck will be at some point in the next 5-6 laps, he will be in the pits for his second stop, because the softs are only lasting 6, maybe 7 laps depending on how you use them. But anyway, on lap 14th, the current fastest lap is by P White with a 1 minute 40.540. So anyway, yeah, Slowpoke there is in 4th. He's dropped off from Chuck down, with Graham there in 5th. He's got Niggle chasing him down in 6th. I think Niggle must have had an issue because he was right behind Slowpoke when he went in the pits. So I think maybe he might have had a mishap somewhere and I missed it. Rossi there in 7th as he comes through 100R. P White there in 8th, being chased by the Stealthy in 9th. And then Sideways there in 10th, so they're about between them two are sort of eased off now. Bloomfield there in 11th, but he has half a second penalty as he comes through hairpin corner onto 300R. Hodgie there in 12th on the hard tyres, and me Rufus, as we like to call him, myself, they're in 13th on the medium tyres. He is got no one behind him. He's pulled away from Brownie. He's got no one behind him. He's got no one ahead of him. Hodgie has gapped him quite a bit, so he's got work to do if he wants to catch Hodgie up. But Hodgie is on the hard tyres and Rufus is on the medium tyres, so there is every opportunity for Rufus to close that gap on Hodgie if he's able to. Looking at their lap times, Hodgie's fastest lap so far on foot is a 1 minute 42.9. Rufus's is a 1 minute 42.2, so he is over a second, like a second and a half quicker than Hodgie a lap. So there is a big possibility that towards the end of the race, him and Hodgie could be battling it out for position. Ray Brownie there in 14th, well back from Rufus, just running his own race now. And Brian the Mechanic there, a lap. Nope, he was a lap down. He's not a lap down anymore because everyone's pitted. But he is well back, trying to close that gap on Brownie. We're looking at their times. Brownie's fastest lap, from what I can see on the screen right now, is a 42.1, and Bride's is a 41.8. So Bride is running faster than Brownie at the moment, and Brownie is on the hard tyres as well, whereas Bride Mechanic is on the medium tyres, so he will have the edge over Brownie on this, for this moment until they have their next pit stops. Anyway, lap 16, Flat B still has a good and decent lead over Hoggy in 2nd. And Chuck there in 3rd, still trying to catch Hoggy up. Currently, Hoggy's fastest lap is a 1 minute 41.6, but he has gone purple. And Chuck is a 1 minute 40.7, so Chuck is just under a second quicker than Hoggy at the moment. But that could all change if Hoggy can get this perfect lap and take the new fastest lap as he comes down 300R for the 16th time, coming into Dunlop. But no, he is down on the time now, so I don't think he will. Chuck there in 3rd as he comes through 300 as he comes through the Dunlop corners. Slowpoke there in 4th, still being chased by Graham Ali. Graham's just posted his fastest lap of a 1 minute 42.2. Niggle there in 6th, so he's got a bit of a gap to catch Graham up. But Graham is on the softs, Niggle is on the hards. But Niggle is being caught by Rossi, who's on the medium tyres. So he will catch Niggle eventually, unless Niggle goes into the pits before him, which he probably will. He'll probably just do the free laps, or 3 required laps, and then take and get a new set of tyres, I assume. Pete White there into 8th, still chasing Rossi down, not too far behind. He is the current fastest lap holder. And stealthy there with the fastest lap of a 1:41.3. And sideways there in 10th, fastest lap of a 1:41.9, with Bloomfield right behind him with a half-second penalty, looking for that 10th position with a 1:42.0. So sideways is slightly quicker, but is Bloomfield going to go for a pass here going as they go through Coca-Cola corner? No, he doesn't. They're coming through the 100R once again into hairpin corner. Is Bloomfield going to go for it? He does. Bloomfield goes for it on hairpin corner, gets that position, so Bloomfield's now up to 10th. As he brings them down 300R for the 17th time. But sideways isn't letting him go. He's keeping in the fight and keeping up with him. But now he is, Bloomfield is now coming around Panasonic corner. He will have to serve his penalty, so he will drop back down to 11th, where Sideways will take that position off of him. Thank you for all who is watching. I'd also like to throw a big shout out to our sponsors for this season of EAC Eldridge Air Conditioning and WGG, and also to anyone who is watching who isn't with URL, get signed up and get racing with us, because we are one of the best communities on Facebook, in my opinion. Nothing beats us. So anyway, back to the racing on lap 18. Bloomfield is still chasing down Sideways, but Sideways has just opened up that gap to him. There's nothing at the moment Bloomfield can do, but Sideways is on the medium tyres, Bloomfield is on the soft, so there's going to be every chance Bloomfield will close that back up to him, but he already has closed that gap up a little bit. Meanwhile, Hoggy there in 11th position after being in his pits for the second time. And Hodgie there in 12th position, with Rufus there in 13th. He's definitely looking at their track position. Rufus has definitely closed that gap onto Hoggy now. He is closing up gradually to him. And he's still well ahead of Brownie there in 14th, with Brylan Mechanic there in 15th, still trying to close that gap on to Brown. He is closing that gap up gradually, but not quick enough. So let's go back up to flat B as he brings them through 100R for the 19th time. That means, because we are on lap 19, we have got 10 laps remaining of this amazing 29 lap race at Fuji International. As he brings them through hairpin corner into 300R. Now down to Dunlop corner for the 19th time. Chuck still has second position, but I think, looking at his fuel, he could be going into the pits this lap. So let's just stay with Chuck and see what he does. As Chuck comes through Panasonic corner, is he going to dive to the right? Yes, he does. Does look like Chuck is going into the pits once again. but so is Flat B. So Flat B and Chuck are both pitted now for whatever tyres they're going for. So anyway, let's get back on with the action. Slowpoke there in third, but he's battling with Graham Ali for fourth. At the moment, this will be first and second since they've not gone into the pits. Graham has got ahead of Slowpoke just as they come into first corner, what, for the 20th time. So currently Graham is leading the race for the first time, but Slowpoke is not letting Graham Ali go. He is keeping up with him gradually, although Graham is on the soft tyres and Slowpoke is on the hard, so Graham will have the advantage at the moment, so he will drive away eventually. But looks like Graham could be pitting this lap by the looks of it. So that will allow Slowpoke to retake the lead. Down to third, there's Rossi there in third as he brings them out of 300R and onto Dunlop corner with Pete White there in fourth. He's being chased by the one and only Niggle as they come through the Dunlop corners. Now they're going to come through next corner as they bring it through these few corners up to the final corner. Panic's on the corner for the 920th time. Who's going to get a better exit here? I think they got just as good exit. They both got about the same exit, but looks like Pete White is actually going into the pits now. Yes, he is. So that will allow Niggle to get up to fourth position. That will allow Flat B to get up to fifth. And Hoggy will get up to sixth. Chuck will get up to seventh. So P White and sideways. Let's see. Yeah, P White's just changed the tyres. He's now refueling. Hodgie's there up to eighth. Rufus is up to ninth now. P White is now finished fueling and coming back out of the pits. He's back out in 10th. Sideways will be out shortly, but will he get back out in front of Bloomfield? That is the question. Nope. Bloomfield got out in front of him. So Bloomfield's up to 11th. Sideways down to 12th. Delph there in 13th, Brownie there in 14th, and Bryler Mechanic's just spun out. What's happened to Bryler Mechanic? He completely lost it as he's come out of Net's corner. That's very unfortunate there for him. So anyway, they got a yellow flag. There's the yellow flags all going at the moment with Slowpoke chasing down Graham Ali, but Graham probably Slowpoke goes a bit wider than he wants there. Looks like Graham nearly lost it as well, but looks like Graham will be pitting this lap because his fuel gauge is up. Does he tear off to the right? Yeah, he does. Graham tears off to the right to take his final pit stop. So that will allow Slowpoke to take the lead. There's Rossi now will jump up to second position, with Niggle going up to third. Graham will go down to fourth for the moment. There's Flat B there fifth. He will jump up to fourth. And he's got Hoggy right behind him there in fifth. Is Hoggy going to make a move here? He is trying to. They are side by side as they come through first corner. And Hoggy got it. So Hoggy is now up to fourth. Flat B up down to fifth now, but is Flat B going to be able to come back at him? Looking at their tyres, Hoggy is on the softs, Flat B is on the hard tyres, and now Hoggy is now on the better tyre than Flat B, so Flat B is going to have the work to do to keep up with Hoggy now. Chuck there in sixth. Hodgie there in 7th. He's being chased by Graham Ali, who's on the medium tyres. Then Rufus there in 9th. So Rufus has definitely, he was a lot further away from Hodgie. He has caught up dramatically to Hodgie. He's not that far from Hodgie now, so time will tell now whether he can. But I don't think he will, because looking at his fuel gauge, I don't think he's going to have enough fuel to last till the end. I don't think Hodgie will either. But at the moment, as they come through out of Dunlop corner into the next corners, Graham is battling with Hodgie, looking to try and get that 7th place from him. As they come out of Panasonic corner, it looks like Hodgie is now pitting. And he is. Hodgie does pit now for the final time. The Rufus isn't pitting, he's carrying on. So Rossi is currently in the pits as well. So currently on lap 23. Niggles first now, Hoggy there is 2nd, Flatby there 3rd. He's being chased by the one and only Chuckinator in 4th. The Chuckinator is all over the rear bump, all over Flatby's rear bumper, and he's gone for it, gone up the inside of Flatby. Chuck is now up to 3rd place as they've just come out of hairpin corner now into 300R for the 23rd time, but Flatby is coming after him, not letting Chuck go at all. But Chuck is on the better tyre now. He's on the medium tyres, whereas Flatby is on the hard tyres. So Chuck will have the advantage here. So Flatby there in 4th, Slowpoke there in 5th. Graham has got past Hodgie now, because obviously Hodgie's got into the pits. Graham's there in 6th. And Rufus there in 7th. He will be pitting this lap. He's got Rossi all over the rear bumper, but I'm sure Rossi will be aware that Rufus will be going into the pits this lap, so Rossi doesn't have to battle him for that position as he comes through Panasonic corner. Yep, Rufus just tear off to the right, but Rossi stays right behind him. I think he's going to try and use that slipstream to speed him up a little bit. But yeah, Rufus is into the pits now. Is Rufus going to be able to get back out of the pits in front of Hodgie? That is the question, as they were not that far apart. Let's stay with Hodgie as he's battling with the Stealth Man for that 13th position. Stealth is on the hards. Hodgie is on the softs. Rufus is just filling up now. So I don't know, he won't get out of the pits in front of Hodgie, unfortunately. And they are now both on soft. Hodgie's on soft tyres, so that'll be, I don't think Rufus will be able to catch Hodgie now. Although I think now, looking at it, Stealth is on the hard tyres, so if Rufus could catch anybody, it'll be Titch, aka Stealth, in 12th, so we'll have to watch that. Brownie there, well back in 14th. Rufus doesn't have to worry about Brownie whatsoever. And Bridle Mechanic well back there in 15th. He is a lap down now, unfortunately. He hasn't been lapped by everyone, but he is a lap down, unfortunately. So anyway, lap 25, we've got 4 laps to go. Hoggy currently leads with Chuck in 2nd. Flatby there in 3rd. Slowpoke there in 4th. Bridle Mechanic there in 5th. Rossi there in 6th. Niggle comes out the pits in 7th position, but he is on the soft tyres now. Flat P White there in 5th, chasing him down. Bloomfield there in 9th, Hodgie there in 10th. He's being chased by Sideways now, who is in 10th. He has just got past as they come through Coca-Cola corner for the 25th time. Sideways does have the advantage just over Hodgie just by a bit, although Sideways is on the hards. Hodgie is on the soft, so Hodgie is on the faster tyre as he's all over Sideways at the moment as they come through hairpin corner once again. Hodgie has got ahead of Sideways once again as he come out hairpin corner onto 300R. As Sideways is coming back. But now it doesn't look like Hodgie is now disappearing now. The Sideways there in obviously 11th. Rufus there in 12th, so he has got past the Stealth. Looks like Stealth he may have been. He went in the pits again to change his tyres. By the looks of it. Brownie there in 14th, so he's well back. Brian Mechanic there in 15th, so he's well back at the moment. He's been lapped by everyone up to 4th position. So we've got 3 laps left to go. So now Chuck, for the first time of the race, I think it's the first time he is leading this race as he comes out of the Dunlop corners. Flatby there is in 2nd, trying to catch Chuck up, but obviously Chuck is on the mediums and Flatby is on the hards, so it's going to be very difficult for Flatby to catch Chuck unless Chuck makes a mistake. Slowpoke there in 3rd, Graham there in 5th, Rossi there in 6th. He's being chased by Niggle in 6th. It's soft and soft tyres, so they're both on the same tyres, so these two are battling out for that 5th position as they come through Panasonic corner. Who's going to get out of this corner better? Out of Rossi and Niggle. Looks like Niggle did get out of Panasonic corner a little bit better. He's right on Rossi's rear bumper right at the moment. Is Niggle going to be able to go for a move here on this corner? He does go out to his right side. They are side by side as they come over the line. Down to 1st corner and Niggle is there in 5th place. But Ross doesn't look like Rossi is going to let him go. Rossi is coming back at him. So we are lap 27, 2 more laps after this remain. Who, where and where is everybody going to finish in this race? It's going to be an interesting show. So Niggle is all purple at the moment as he brings them down past through Dunlop corners. Is this his chance to take the fastest lap off of P White, who's had it for the majority of the race? With Rossi there in 6th, P White there in 7th, Hoggy there in 8th, Bloomfield there in 9th, Hodgie there in 10th, Sideways there in 11th, Rufus there in 12th, trying to catch Sideways up, but at the moment not having much luck, and he's got a half-second penalty as well. So Stealthy there in 13th, well behind Rufus, so Rufus doesn't have to worry about behind him unless he makes a mistake. Stealth is literally just at the moment now, he's literally just running his own race, coming through Dunlop corners because he's got no one in front of him, no one behind him, so there's no hassle for him whatsoever. And there's Brownie there in 14th, still going, but well back. With Brian McKenna there in 15th, well back. He's been lapped by top six guys. So there's Chuck there in first. He's coming down towards, looks like Brownie. Yep, he is coming down towards Brownie. He's just going through Dunlop corner. So there's a very big possibility that Brownie could be getting lapped soon, as Chuck is not too far behind him, unless Brownie can keep ahead of him. We don't know. So lap 28 coming through Panasonic corner. Gets out of that without an issue. Races down the start-finish straight for the 28th time. Just about to start his final lap of this 29-lap race. And here we go, last lap of the race, 29 laps, 28 laps gone, fantastic laps down, 1 to go. Through first corner for the final time. Flat B there in second still, with Slopo there in third, Graham there in fourth, Niggle there in fifth, Rossi there in sixth, P. White there in seventh, Hoggy there in ninth, Bloomford there in 10th, Hodgie there in Bloomford there in 9th, Hodgie there in 10th, Sideways there in 11th, Rufus there in 12th, trying to catch Sideways, but he keeps getting penalties, so he's unable to have an opportunity at passing him. Stealth there in 13th, Brownie there in 14th, and Brian Mechanic there in 15th. It does not look like there's going to be any more track position changes. There is not really any battles anywhere on the field. So Chuck comes around the next corner for the final time, keeping it on the track, run a superb race. Comes through Panasonic corner for the final time. Races down towards the start-finish straight. And Chuck takes a victory at a Fuji. Flat B will take the second position after starting on first. Slopo will take third. Graham will take fourth. Niggle will take fifth. Rossi will take sixth. P. White will take seventh. Hoggy will take eighth. Bloomfield will take a ninth when he passes the start-finish line. Hodgie will take a 10th position. Sideways will take 11th. Rufus, myself, will take 12th. Stealth, as he's just come out of Panasonic corner and racing down towards the finish line. He finishes in 13th. Now obviously Brian the Mechanic finished in 15th as he's a lap down. So the last person to cross the line will be Brownie in 14th as he comes through Panasonic corner for the final time. So anyway, that was the race. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time for round 8 at... I'm not sure. So anyway, see you again. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.